Guys, this is Adrian from Team Dueling Rogue, bringing you guys another tutorial of Magic the Gathering. So how do you play Magic the Gathering? Magic the Gathering um, is one of those really hard thinking games. I would say it's hard thinking, to be honest. I sometimes actually have trouble with it. Um, Sometimes playing this game because you use lands, which are your mana, and then you use monsters. But sometimes, if you want to attack your opponent can sometimes block it, or you can sometimes hit them directly. So it's up to your opponent, and you only also have 20 damage. You don't need to use a dice this big. I personally just bought this because it looked cool, but you can use it as a life counter. So you need a 20-sided life counter. You need a believe this is a 40, yeah, 30 card deck, an 60 card deck. I'm sorry, and you can put this is a trial deck in a way. So basically, this is like one of these decks that you can learn for free. Magic. You go to your local card shop and they can teach you how to play Magic, or you can just watch this video and try and just pick one of these up, or two of them actually, and just listen to their boring conversation or listen to them more and just play Magic right there and then. Okay, and a little history about the game as well. Magic started in released actually in August 1993 when Yu-Gi-Oh started 2002, but they released it in China in 1999. Um, so Magic is one of those little bit old games, but I know a lot of people who still play it. So I'm going to explain a little bit about it real quick before I go into the actual deck. So I'll just use these. So the thing about Magic is there's also different types of formats. There's Commander, there's Standard, there's Advanced. Commander is when to the point where they maybe have a 100 card deck full of sleeves and stuff, and you're allowed to actually have that kind of deck if you do play Commander, if you do play something like that kind of Standard. The only downfall is you need to shuffle it on your own. If you can shuffle it on your own without it falling or tipping over and stuff, then that's a tournament legal, which is completely fine, which is a little funny in my opinion, but it's just crazy all over the place. Um, Magic. Let's go. Let's just go here. The other thing about Magic is you can tell by the back of their the back of their cards that is really cool. Actually, I'm trying to fix this glare. The cool thing is, you see how there's a green one right here? So the card on the right shows what it's weak. The cards on the left and right shows what it's weak to, but the cards all the way across shows what it's strong to. So dark is really bad against burn and drawing because it can't really go through it, but it can always beat the green or the yellow one. Things like that. Just look around the card. It's really interesting. You can barely see the glare. I mean, you can see a glare, so just look it up yourself. Um, so going on to land. So lands, there are really different lands. So it also depends on the color because this one's black. So this land will work for black. So when you always play a land, to always do something. So in order to use a land, you have to tap it, and in order to tap your land, you need to put it like this. So you and your opponent will know what you used, and then on the start of your turn, you call it I forgot what's it called, untap, and you tap it like that, and then you draw your card. So you do that every time. So every time you want to use your mana, you tap it. But that mana will always stay on the field unless told so by a certain card. Alright, what else do we got? Now we got like a special land, like Radiant Fountain. So when Radiant Fountain enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life. So every card has its own special thing. You can also gain more than 20 life, which is I like to play a black deck because black deck makes you gain life, but also makes you take it away from your opponent. And this you need a tap, and then this adds 1 mana to your mana pool. So this is already 1 on its own. And then talking about instance, as you can tell, like I'm going to be talking more about this. There's 2 on the top right corner up here, right here. There's 2 skulls and 1 and just the number 1. So this, the 1 right there signifies that you can use any type of land, but the other 2 have to be dark. And this instant ones, you can use it during your opponent's turn. It's basically quick play. We could just say it's a quick play. So if your opponent was to attack or something like that, you can play this off of your hand. But you have to have the right amount of mana. So that's if you didn't use that mana on your any of your turns. So you left 3 up and stuff, and you already used 2, and you had 5 in total, but you only used 2, and you had 3 up, and your opponent attacks. You can use an instant. It's fine. Another thing to talk about is sorcery. I believe sorcery you can only do it on your turn. Sorceries are basically spells. This one costs 2 dark and 2 regular. It destroys a target creature, so target and destroy. But that's just that one in specifically. And there's other ones that like return stuff back into the deck. And then we have enchantments, which are almost basically equips. So an enchantment creature. This chick is 2 of any kind of mana, but 1 specifically black. Enhancement creature gets +2/+1 and has menace. What does menace do? Menace. It cannot be destroyed except by 2 or more monsters. There's also special effects like that, like menace, blood rush. No, sorry, not blood rush. I'm sorry. Um, Flying. This creature can be blocked except by um, destroying it with a flying monster or out of its reach, something that reaches. But like I said, this is a monster, and some monsters have like no attack or defense or something like that, so they can't block. But they will have specific things like Nightmare's power and toughness are each equal to the number of swamps you control. So if I control 10 swamps, he has 10 attack and 10 defense. That's really hard to get around. And then over here, I have something simple that you can easily take out. Would be like Tatered Mummy. So Tatered Mummy, when Tatered Mummy dies, each opponent loses 2 life. So the cool thing about Magic is when it says each opponent, it means like you can go in and actually do duos, you could do trios, basically go against multiple people. When I play Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff, we just made up those rules, and supposedly Yu-Gi-Oh! Is implementing that now, which is actually pretty neat. But yeah, another thing is when your monster touches the field, they get summoning sickness. Summoning sickness is when they go like this. When they go like that, they become vulnerable, meaning they cannot attack, they cannot do anything until your turn. So that's another thing about Magic is they get a summoning sickness, so they can automatically do their things immediately. But your opponent does have the chance. But when you're like this, your opponent has the chance to hit you directly, and you can't do nothing about it, really. And then that's really about it, about some of the basics. Um, and that's about it. Yeah. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys how to play. How to play. So you will always have to show your dice to your opponent to show him how much health you have. And then you would draw, excuse me, you would draw 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Always have your deck here, always have your discard pile over here, and then your monster lineup over here, spells down here. So we're going to go like that. Monsters over here, mana. So I'm going to show you guys my hand. So before each game starts, this is a really bad hand actually. Before each game starts, you're going to ask to mulligan. Your opponent, you're going to be like, are you fine? And you'll be like, yeah. This is a really bad hand because you actually do not have no lands. So what you have to do, or what you can do, is you can choose to mulligan. And mulligan is shuffle your entire. You can either shuffle your entire hand. Yeah, you shuffle your entire hand back into a deck, shuffle it, and draw 6 cards instead of 7. You keep on drawing less if you keep on mulligan. So let's do this again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, this is not a bad hand. So then you would decide, do you want to go first or do you want to go second? Your opponent's like, okay, go first. Okay, I go first. So what I can only do right now, let me just show you. You'll only play 1 land per turn. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna place one land untapped, so leave it like that. And because I cannot summon a monster because I don't have enough I don't have enough mana for it, I can't do anything. So I guess I end my turn. So then it's your opponent's turn. He does the same thing, places the land, and ends his turn. Now it's your turn. You draw. Place another land. Now, because I have two lands, I can tap two of my lands to summon out Tattered Mummy. But because Tattered Mummy, is that what I said? Yeah, Tattered Mummy, just because when he touches the field, he gets summoning sickness, so I can't do nothing. So that's all I can do. I end my turn. My opponent can't do nothing either. He summons his monster. That's it. So then I draw my card. Untap. Always remember to untap. I just almost forgot. Then I put an energy card. My monster comes back to normal. Now, this is the thing that really gets difficult. My monster chooses to attack. Yes, my opponent has his monster on the sideways, so he's going to take maybe 1 damage. So that's fine. It would show always on the left is your attack, always on the right is your defense. So if you do choose to defend yourself against your opponent's attacking monster, you would place your monster to defense and aim it. Well, when you attack, you're going to go like defense, and then basically that just shows that you use your monster and your opponent attacks you directly. But if you kept them like this, and your opponent wants to attack you, you have the chance to defend, point it towards him, and your opponent has to beat down the 2. If he just hits it for 1, then your Tater Mummy is going to be less 1, so he has to destroy it in a way twice, you know? Unless you have 3 and you take the difference, just 1. That's basically the basics. I can show you guys more in a real duel or something, but I got no one to play with. Like I said, I can show you guys like next time or so. But yeah, you guys can comment down below what I missed. If I missed something bad, if I said something that I wasn't supposed to, that wasn't true, or whatnot, then it's fine. I can take feedback. Not like other YouTubers I know. And yeah, comment, like, and subscribe, and comment below what you guys want to see, and I'll put that up to show you guys later. All right.